afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Thiesel, and I'm your host of Afternoon Drive Home on IC in Christ Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications. And Julie doesn't know this, but Julie, you're on worldwide television, Abundant TV, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And guess where else we are? Australia.
Wow.
There's a big Christian network, and it's this big satellite. And so they partnered with Abundant TV. And so now you're talking to folks out there as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're making fun of my voice right now.
Exactly. I can say they're making fun of our accent. That's fine. That's fine.
Oh, we don't care.
They
like Southern folks because we've got that hospitality thing going on, you know?
Oh, yeah.
and really, you're listening worldwide. This is awesome because you're going to be listening to this lady who is super awesome with Northeast Alabama Community College. And it's really important that you hear this segment, okay? This is Julie George. And Julie is the skills training coordinator there. And if you are looking to relocate a business or maybe add a business to another area of the United States, maybe right here in Bama, you know, where we got it going on here, low cost of living, great atmosphere. We raise our youngins right. So if you're looking to relocate a business in another part of the world, this is the place because they're trained very well at Northeast Alabama Community College. What say you, Julie?
Hey, thank you, Donna. I appreciate that. Yes, we've got so much going on, so many opportunities. And I'm sure, according to some of the trainers we've had in Europe and locations, they've said that, yes, truck drivers and carpenters, nurses, yes, we're all here and available to do that. And we're one of the most affordable in the state as well. So.
Absolutely. And that's so important. And having that certificate means a lot as well.
Oh, significantly. Those employers are looking, we are actually holding advisory council meetings with all of our employers to say, hey, what do you need? And advise us on your needs so that we can build our curriculums to fit your needs. So that's where we team together with our workforce, because we are workforce development for the Division of Workforce. Therefore, we can say, hey, let us find out how we can help you. Found out today there were some measures that we assumed that law enforcement would require people to have certain measures before they attempt certifications. And we found out otherwise, that there is an exemption there because they're already employed and they already have what they need in-house. All they have to go in and say, hey, I am an employee of, I need this certification in order to train. So I thought, hey, you know, we had to network. It took us 2 or 3 days to get it, but we found our answer. So that's what we're here to do.
That's absolutely true. You know, there are a lot of components to, because right now the supply chain's kind of lagging just a little bit, but there are many components to that supply chain. And one of those is truck drivers.
Oh, definitely. And what we're seeing right now is not only supply chain, we're also seeing what they need in municipalities to repair, you know, not only, you know, in construction, but we've got our water companies. I know on my way to work this morning, came across to a bridge area. The water company's working on getting several repairs completed. And then I go on up in there, I see Farmers Telephone. They're there repairing phone lines, and up short another distance, you know, and I only live about 7 miles from the college. Within 7 miles, I saw 7 Mile Electric, you know, it's our utility company. So I thought, hey, you know, all these guys need CDLs and they're all contacting us. So, you know, I said, all I was lacking was a gas company and hey, I'm the first one to go out there and say, hey, if you need these, come see us at Northeast. We'll get you ready. So,
and they will. Absolutely. And I wanted to mention this too. And I have several relatives who are school bus drivers. And school bus drivers, I'm going to tell you, because you are employed to the state of Alabama, you've got a nice retirement there. And if you own your own business and maybe you just haven't saved something for a retirement, that would be a great alternative to drive a bus in the morning hours. Put that into your schedule.
Morning hours, afternoon, you know, there's some interesting opportunities there with kids of all ages. So yeah, we are looking into the instructor has the ability to do Class C, but you know, you've also got your community organizations. You've got churches. They all need Class Cs to do all of those areas. So yeah, we've got a lot of opportunities. So anyone passenger bus of 9 or more, they need a Class C. We can help them get started and then get them into the skills and everything that they need, and all, because we have a huge state network. We actually have an opportunity right now for folks to, the employers needing those employees, whether it's in, well, I'll just multiple facets of careers that they need these folks to have. What they have, a Class C or a Class B, and need a Class A. Class A gives them less restriction. So they can need endorsements. They need a Class A, drive a big rig, haul more equipment. They can actually do the theory. We can show us that they have the prerequisites. We get them in contact to do theory with ACCS Innovation Center. We put them behind the wheel. I don't. Instructors do. Chris Peak and Sean Guffey. We have 2 instructors now, 2 trucks on the road. And these guys get them behind the wheel, make sure they're ready for pre-trip, backing, maneuvers, and over the road, and then get them certified and ready to go. So, and then if they follow through like we all should do, to do everything in a timely order, they basically get free training.
Wow. How long is the training, or does it vary?
It varies depending on how soon and how quick they get their DLT physicals, drug screens, MVRs, whatever might be needed, and permits. As soon as they do that and complete their theory can possibly be done in 2 to 3 days online, and then they get behind the wheel. So it could be done as quick as 3 to 4 weeks.
Oh, wow. That's pretty awesome. I wanted to tell you something, and I knew you were going to be on the show today, so I had to throw this out. So Kathy and we have another show called The Edge with Donna and Kathy. And so that comes on Mondays at 1 o'clock, and then afternoon drive home right after that. And so Kathy and I were having lunch, and I said, let's just stop and get a burger, because I really don't have time to stop at a restaurant. We got to hurry up and get on to the next appointment. We're running kind of late because the first appointment was late. That pushed us the rest of the day. And so we had stopped at a fast food restaurant, and there was this big clearance area, and it was out at Collinsville exit 59. And so I looked out there, and there was a woman backing up the biggest truck I think I have ever seen in my life. And there were a bunch of guys out there watching her. She did it, and I made better than any man I have ever seen back it up. And she jumped out of the truck, and she stuck her tongue out at the men and said, I'm better than you are.
Hey, we have had a great diverse group of folks to come in, and I haven't had as much contact with them lately with the way we've restructured some things. But hey, there's even a YouTube video out there of one of our first female students from about 3 years ago, and she has done and had more opportunities than imagined. And she's actually trucking in Canada. And she's gone Mexico, Canada, you name it. She's had opportunities galore since she came through the program, Miss Heather. And she's on YouTube video, so I don't think she'd mind that I mentioned her name.
I want to check that out. That's awesome. Yeah. It really is. And there are a lot of jobs out there that, used to be a man's job, and women can do it. And yesterday, Kathy and I were in Oxford, Alabama. And I think I may have mentioned this to you. There's a Sarah Cavender, and she's right on Main Street in Oxford, and she and I are friends, and she had bought a cell phone for me a long time ago when I was in the cell phone business. And I'm a jeweler, and she's a jeweler as well. We both started out as kids. I was 14 when I started. And so I went into her shop, and it looks like Tiffany's New York on the inside of that shop. I mean, it is beautiful. I mean, it's just classy all the way. And she said, do you want to see what it looks like in the back? And I said, this is where she makes this stuff. And I said, yeah, I want to see. So it was closing time anyway. So she locked the door, and we went to the back, and I was in heaven. You should have seen some of the machinery she had. So she takes metalworking to a whole new level. She makes some of the most magnificent pieces that you have ever seen in your life, using the same machines that the guy would use in a shop, and just one-of-a-kind pieces, and sells all over the world.
Oh yeah, sounds like CNC. Yeah, and those opportunities here as well. Yeah, we have some programs with the industrial systems technology for what the correct term is. It's industrial systems, but they call it it starts with an M. Okay, now you know how to grade here. Words are just right there on the tip of my tongue.
I know, but that's me all the time.
Yeah, that's a Julie, as many times as you've heard this. But there's a new thing with where they do machining, welding, industrial electronics. They get all of these bundles and some engineering groups, engineering. So it almost diversifies them to where, like at her stance, she's not only into business and distribution and sales, but she's also got the ability of that hands-on skills to use the CNC machines, because it takes, from what I understood, a very fine, they're very finite numbers that they're setting to make this as that beautiful, beautiful jewelry. Yes, yes.
It's
It takes skill.
breathtaking.
Yes,
It's
and art.
breathtaking.
I've heard the drafting instructor's office is just behind mine, and she was discussing students who are in art and how they're coming into drafting. And I was using the drafting skills in the art skill and in design. And I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. And of course, then I get a phone call and I get off subject. So
I get it. It happens here
yeah,
every day too.
I got about this much of it, but I thought, oh, that's a cool idea. I haven't thought about that, So
I
yeah.
about taking some of those classes myself. Sarah is retiring, and so she said I may do a few things, but she said I'm basically just retiring, but I'm kind of thinking about doing that too, because I like to work with metals as well, and I do a lot of. Let's see if I got something on. Yeah, this is one of my pieces right here,
Oh, that's gorgeous.
right there, and so I've been making jewelry. It started out as love beads back in the 70s. I advanced a little bit. So,
My granddaughter, somebody had given me some of my great aunt's jewelry, and she didn't have children. And so we thought it was just costume jewelry. And so my sister-in-law was visiting and she saw the jewelry and she goes, where did this come from? And she said, these are glass beads from the 1960s. And I'm like, yeah. And she said, why is this toddler playing with these? I said, I will take these and put these away. So they are put away until she's a teenager and it really enjoy them.
but you never know. And artists love metalworking now. I mean, it's opened up a whole new field now that word has finally got out.
Oh yeah. That and the welding arts. Because even you can see where she's currently dean of evening students, or evening dean, Barbara Kilgore, she has the Mustang sculpture here, and then they did that with her welding skills. So yeah, I know it's amazing what you can do with not just using it as an art, but we're even trying to envelop the students who have just finished high school or just completed a GED, ages 17 or older. So therefore, you're not just talking about just traditional age high school. We've got an opportunity for them to go into basic residential carpentry. And so we've got two opportunities. We have what they call a fall bridge program, so that they can go in and, yes, I'm having to pull this up and look at it online as I'm talking.
We expect you to.
Yeah. There's so much going on.
So
it's hard for me to remember everything. We've got the non-credit fall bridge program that's going to come in. It's free training that they're going to get in HVAC, plumbing, and also in welding. So if they've just finished high school this past May, I know that seems a long time ago. You'd think, oh, those folks, no, some want to go to work for a while. Then they think, I'm tired of doing this. I'm tired of living. I want to go try something. This is an introductory program to where they'll come in one night a week for 8 weeks, starting in October 11th, and then they'll build in those skills and they'll learn the basics. At the same time they're getting to learn how to do that, we're also doing their applications. They get a scholarship for 2 classes to go into the spring. And so if they decide to go to welding, plumbing, or HVAC, it builds right into that. So we help them with their applications, applying for their financial aid, tell them the different career options, and even possibly going to apprenticeship and co-op programs with these as HVAC, welding, and everything. I mean, so if they've just gotten their GED or in the process of 17 or older, or finished high school in the past, they have to be finished with 1 or 2, or in the process of finishing GED, they get this free course for 8 weeks. And then we're also helping them with their application to the college, their financial aid, and they successfully complete everything. They get basically 2 free classes, and that's significant nowadays. So that's a scholarship for those courses. So we've got registrations for that set up online. Also, another option, that doesn't and related to that, we also have the Alabama Home Builders Association. We've got a product out there that they're going to do an 8-week course. So they learn how to do, and that's open to almost all ages, I believe 16 and older. They said that 17 and older as well. Those are going to be here on campus Thursday evenings from 4 to 8 in our construction program. They'll get to learn the basic construction tools, roofing, framing, interior trim, stairs. There's window installation. I'm looking at all the blueprints and everything, and I'm thinking, oh, are we building they are building a small building. So Alabama Home Builders is providing everything and scholarships and everything for that as well.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I love that organization, Home Builders Association, because we've been having a lot of work. We bought my grandparents' farm, and so we bit off a lot more. We could have had a house built, really.
Oh, I understand. I live in my great grandparents' house. I do. I get it.
Oh, so I mean, everything's had to be redone, but I'm glad we did it. But I made that request because I wanted to mention this. The Home Builders Association is awesome. So there was a man who seemed a little bit shady to me that we had interviewed to work. And so they were huge on helping us make this decision. And what they said is sometimes people will say that they are licensed, and they're not. What they're saying is Alabama license, but it could be their driver's license. They're kind of shady. They're making you think they're licensed with the state of Alabama. So you can call them and you can get all kinds of great information. So that's a great resource for everybody and for you guys.
Definitely. And that also, with I know our Dr. Kevin Sanders he is our construction program coordinator and director, and so an advisor for the students. So he's having an advisory council. So I'm excited. I'm going to help because some of our services here will be shut off for tomorrow into October 1st for the new fiscal financial year end. And so he invited me down and said, hey, come and join us. And I said, okay. So it's been a while since I've gotten an opportunity because, of the pandemic and everything. It's slowly built back up. So we're looking forward to having a lot of those businesses out here. And in speaking of, I know Lambert, they usually are always here. When you're talking about women in large equipment, we had this summer, we had a heavy equipment operator course. And it was just an introductory course. But after they met and discussed the safety and the skills, we have a simulator here. So after they did so much time here, then they went to Lambert, and Lambert took the students and started working with them on the equipment. And they said one of the best students was a female. And so she loved it. And so she's been looking to increase those skills and to go further and to I saw a short video clip of her doing that, and she was just like, no, I don't want anybody to know I can do this. It's like, what are you kidding me? And it's more than just, but they say that women make good welders and things like that because we're a bit more precise. So
absolutely. Plus we're multitaskers, and I mean, we can do like 10 things at the same time. I mean, we're just kind of built that
way. Sometimes that gets you in trouble, but most of the time, you can do multiple things at once. You got that idea coming in advance of your tongue. So.
Oh, absolutely. Now the medical field is exploding, and it always has. You can always depend on a career in the medical field.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of changes. And I think with everything we've been through since 2020, there's been several changes in the healthcare field where responsibilities are changing. And we see it often, but more so now through the pandemic. I thought we're seeing where medical offices are giving less restrictions to say only this person will do these specific skills. It's no, we need everyone to be able to do more. Pharmacy techs can do more. They're changing what they offer in the offices and compared to what they did before. Because you think about it, if they can get an infusion or they can get specific injections, they've got to have somebody there that can sit there and be attentive to that patient's needs. So medical assisting, Skill specific, we have pharmacy tech and phlebotomy tech. They do require, someone who's willing to put forth the effort. Those types of courses are for phlebotomy and pharmacy to require people who, well, I call them vampires, don't mind getting in there and being well trained to deal with not only the instructors are great because they don't only learn how to do the skill and do the skill properly, but the way the employer requires them to know it for entry-level employment, but also how to be prepared to work with your customer.
Mm-hmm. It's not that far-fetched of an idea anymore where a surgeon can actually do surgery online or some kind of a Zoom or something like that. I really think that's out there in the future.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if we all, have a teledoc, for minor issues, before long, it's going to be someone explaining how to do a procedure, because they're learning. They have to learn it just, before they can provide it on, in a service. So, that's where I think there's going to be a huge change to where we do more. Well, even the learning here. I mean, it's hybrid. You come here, we have medication aid. So long-term care facilities are now adding medication aids. They're slowly integrating that skill and position into their workplace. So they take a trusted nurse assistant typically and say, hey, we're ready for medication aid. They send them to us. They do classes here 1 day a week. And then they'll meet here for 4 hours, usually on Tuesdays, 9 to 12. And then on Wednesdays and Thursdays, the rest of their work is posted online. So they do that at their convenience within the timeline. They need to have it completed and then submit everything online. Watch the videos, just whatever it needs, whatever it takes. They've got the curriculum streamlined. So it's in concern with they're already in the field working. They need the skill to meet the needs. And then we get them ready to be certified and say, okay, hey, this is what you need to know to be ready to be certified. And then tell them how to get to that step. So yeah, it's pretty amazing how, they're changing constantly.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Something else that with the pandemic, a lot of folks have discovered they can work from home. So are there any back office type medical positions that are available where somebody could just work out of their home, take care of the kids, raise the kids while they're working in the home?
Yeah, if they've got that self-motivation and everything, just like, taking a course here for whether it's taking English, math, or medical system terminology. I don't think we can do anatomy, physiology that direction, but there's a few things. Math.
Not out of your home in the garage, no.
Yeah, I don't know that I would want to take anatomy, physiology, but that's that requires a lot of in-person work there. Yeah. But math and English, so many of those things. Medical billing and coding. I was actually talking with our medical assistant instructors yesterday. I said, hey, I've got a question. If this person's needing this for this local hospital or regional hospital for this certification for their employer, what is the best avenue? So I said, do we have this currently? And she said, well, they could come here and do this online. They'll come in, do an orientation. Everything will be available to them online. And then we'll report that they're ready and eligible to go in and take certification for AAPC. And I said, okay, so that sounds great. I said, how long will it take them? And so I gave them options because I just honestly, I would want to know what my options are. And then what's the cost? What's the investment? So, that's what it all comes to. So, there's always more than one way to get everything. But of course, we're going to say, okay, this is what we can do for you from Northeast. Okay, but there are other options, and this is the way you find this information. Mm-hmm. So, you end up being information providers more than anything.
Well, that's cool that you guys are such a resource in the area. And I wanted to mention to you folks who are watching, you're in other parts of the world. Right here in North Alabama, we got it going on, and we have good employees, and they're very well trained. So if you're looking to locate in this area, maybe you have a headquarters stationed right here in North Alabama, or maybe another plant or any kind of business, you need to come here and check it out at least. So I wanted to mention that to you guys who are watching. I wanted to also talk with you about, so many different directions, and there are so many employers who actually look to you guys for assistance for hiring employees.
Yes, yes. We have an apprenticeship and cooperative program in linkage with an Alamount program to where we take students who are looking to connect with the employer and or currently working with that employer but want to improve their skill levels. And so we help them to say, evaluate that this is where they are as a student and this is what they need and where they need to be. We have them get to the, whether it's application or interview process, certifications. Then from there, we'll go in and talk with that employer and they say, hey, we've got X amount of people who need these skill levels. So we've got certifications to through like Ramsey certification in Ramsey Corps where they can take that. We have also offer the MSSC, which is the manufacturing solutions where they determine their knowledge and safety, quality. What's the others? I'm the site coordinator and I can't remember all the tests. There's 4 or 5 tests. Oh, there's so much to remember. And we have, that is all online. So they can do it at the privacy of and on their own time, as according to what their employer wants them to do. We provide the assessments here in person. We don't suggest doing those online because it's a lot more technology effort on their part. We offer certifications here, Electronic Technicians Association, all of those things that we offer here that they can get the training, the certification, and then communicate that back to that employer. And then in no time, next thing we know, they're moved from, first line all the way up to lead supervisor. You never know where they'll lead. So yeah, there's so many things that we can do. The co-op and apprenticeship program that Melissa Ledbetter coordinates, she is the workforce experience for co-op and apprenticeship. And Miss Haley Wilson now is doing Alamount, which is a great opportunity for folks who need more tuition assistance that maybe don't qualify for financial aid and or scholarships or anything like that. It's out there to help them pay for tuition and fees, and it pays for more than most of those things do. I'm slowly learning more and more about that. Like if they need welding helmets, fire resistant clothing, boots, things of that nature, it helps reimburse them for that as well.
Absolutely. Julie George is with me right now. She's with Northeast Alabama Community College. I'm going to tell you what, I'm real proud that you guys are in this area. This is such a huge, huge help for our employers that are right here. Less than a minute and a half left in this section. What would you like to tell folks?
Search us out. Check us out on the web at nacc.edu. If you have questions, give us a call. We have 2 landlines. We have multiple landlines. Give us a call at 256-638-4418 or at the 228-6001. Check us out. There's so many things. There's so much community involvement as well. With the theater, we have Booze Paws, I believe it is coming up. Looking back at our website, if you go across, there's some events coming up. Yeah, Booze and Paws Halloween dog costume contest coming up October 20th. We also have Story Walk for children and their families through October 31st. They'll have the walking trail, and then they've got an exhibit that ends tomorrow with football. We've got a jazz jam coming up. They're also doing Songs of the Troubadours. That's going to be with our Northeast Chorus, Encore, and the Mustang String Band. That's coming up October 27th at 6:30. And we
appreciate everything you guys do for this area. We're going to have to call it the end of the day. Julie, always awesome having you on the show.
Thank you for having us.
And you take care. Okay, folks, we're going to get ready for another awesome guest, very much like this one. We'll be back with you in just a few minutes. Bye, Julie.
Thank you.